All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I pray y'all are still having a wonderful, blessed day as we thank the Most High for so much. This is a video response back to you, Music oh 01. You saw the video I did the other day about the Minister of Music versus the choir directors, and you had a great email about learning music. So I want to use this title. It's just something I always tell other musicians. My title says, I learned the music in my mind. Now, it's going to be a lot of musicians that can relate to this, but then it's going to be a lot that's probably going to be like, I'm not there yet, or I don't really even know what he's talking about. When you do something for so long, every single day of the week, every day you do it, you can't help but to get great at it, awesome at it. I didn't say you're going to be perfect at it, but you're going to know how to perfect it. And anybody that know me knows that, first of all, I love the word of the Most High. That's off top first. But then I love the piano. I love the keyboard. I love the organ. I love music. And when you understand what you are called to do, you don't take it lightly. So I'm saying that to say this in this video because once you learn your craft, I call it building up a vocabulary in the music field with the piano. When you build up your chords, you have a library. You start off with the basics, the 1 4 5. And the key is once you learn that number system, once you learn that theory, once you learn those inversions, those scales, blues, harmonic minor, all of that, learning music becomes more and more easier. Now, there are some songs that's difficult than others. Now, let me tell you why I'm using this title. On a daily basis, when I'm walking, exercising, I have the Bluetooth in my ear. And while I'm listening, I might listen at the song 10 times. My point is, I'm going to learn it up here before I even think about touching the keyboard. And I'm to the point now where I can learn the whole song in my mind. I can even hear what key it's in a lot of times. I'm not going to say I'm always accurate with that, but I'm not saying that to boast and brag. I'm saying that's what you do every day. You can't help but to get great at it. So when I'm listening at a lot of songs, and you ask me, how long it took me to get to that point, a long time, a long time. And I tell anybody that's playing the piano, do it every day. Do it till your fingers hurt. Do it till you're mad. When I really, really got mad at the piano is when I really started getting down on the piano and learning it. But I was frustrated because wouldn't nobody show me nothing like I wanted. They would always cover their hands up and say, youngster, you got to learn like I learned. Man, I ain't showing you nothing. So it took me a little bit longer, you know. I like where I'm at now, but if I could have really got with somebody back in the day, I would be further along right now. But even with that being said, I'm still at a good point. But when you learn that music in your mind, by the time you get on the piano, it's easy. It's easy. And I mean that. Now I'm saying that I'm speaking from me, my point of view. This is just talking about me and what I do and how I learn because I like to, especially when I'm walking in the morning time, getting my little exercise in, just say I got a song sent to me by somebody. I'm going to listen at that song back and forth. And it's like, I'm talking about the mind. I can't even explain how powerful the mind is. And that's only a gift that comes from the Most High, man. When you can sit up here and got all this stuff you deal with on a daily basis, and then you got to come home and learn music. It's not easy a lot of times. That's why I always make the point. If your mind is not clear, if you live in a sinful lifestyle, if you always often got stuff blocking you away from the piano, it's going to be hard to learn it. But the power of the mind that the Most High given us, man, when you can sit there and just learn a song in your mind. I used to trip a lot of people out, and especially coming up back in the day in a lot of churches, because especially when the preacher would go to that mode when they hooping and hollering, I can be way in the back of the church, sitting on the pew, not even playing, and I can tell you what key they in. Oh, he in B flat. I even made a little money betting sometime. Man, how much you want to bet he ain't in that key? Okay. When you go up there and back him up on the organ, let me know what key you came up with. And JT, you was right. I know, get my money. I'm being funny but serious at the same time. The Most High have blessed so many of us, man, with perfect pitch. Um, I've seen some people way dynamic, man, than I am that can just catch stuff like that with that music. Now I'm to the point now where I can catch it, but at first I was hard headed like a lot of musicians. Now that's why I try to teach them the right way. I was hard headed. I just wanted to know, show me how to hit the card. But once you start learning why you playing this card, what is the name of that card, what is the inversion, what is the root position, what's the second inversion, you know what I'm saying? Why am I using this? What's a closer way for me to get to this card without jumping way over here? Once you know why you're doing what you do, it makes the job easier. See, so many things we put on ourselves, we make it harder than what it is because we won't put in the time. We won't put in the effort. We want to shortcut everything. Well, you can't shortcut everything in this life. That's why learning music in my mind, you can ask a lot of people that know me, especially and I was coming up in church, but man, he learned this. How you learn this song? Like I can listen to the song go over and over and over and over and catch it, while so many musicians would take probably hours just to try to figure out what they're doing. And then once again, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to say, use your strategies. Now, that might not work for the next man or the next woman, but for me, it's learning it up here first. I could be driving down the street. JT, you got 3 songs to learn this week. Okay. Because what I tell musicians all the time, 90% of your learning is listening. Even when I was playing the drums in school, man, I read drum music like the back of my mind. But I used to make the band director mad because not only could I read the drum music, I could memorize it because I did it so much. I knew where every rest, every quarter note, where to come down, where to go high. I knew all that in my mind because it was just something that I was blessed with by the Most High. That's why I don't do nothing. I have to make this point. I don't do nothing to pause in my body because I especially want my mind to be clear at all times. That's why I stayed single for so long, because being in the music field, even playing with a band outside of church, I could show the band how to learn a song just like that. I heard a bass line just like that. Your bass line and the drum, that's your foundation anyway. When you hear that foundation, you can't help but everything else got to fall in place. If the foundation is messed up, the whole song pretty much is messed up. Bass player and drummer got to be on one accord. And I can hear that bass line in my mind. I can hear them strings, that organ, that lead guitar. I can hear all the instruments in my mind. That's why it was so easy for me to be a producer when I would lay tracks. Okay, I done laid the piano. Let me come back and learn the organ. Let me come back and lay the organ. Let me come back and lay this right here. If I didn't have a bass player, I laid the bass line with the keys. Or if I brought somebody in, I could tell them what to do. But once again, it starts in your mind. Because think about this. If you got it up here, when you sit down right here, it's already in you. That's why I was making a point in that video about the minister of music and the choir directors. That's why so many people fumble so much with what they're doing, because it's not up here. And if you read music, then you know this video you might not even want to look at this video because you're like, okay, I'm reading, so it don't matter what you're saying no way, JT. That's fine also. I'm talking about to the ones also that play by ear. You know, I know a lot of cats that read music and they don't never even use it. They never even use the paper. because they want to be creative. They want to get outside of what the paper is doing, you know. And I always say this too: when you learning a song, give the artist their credit off top. Put them melody lines in there. Let people know exactly what the song is before you just start doing all your crazy chords and running all over the place. And that's fine if you can do all this stuff, but I'm gonna tell you something: you got to know when to do that kind of stuff. I was just looking at a comment from I think your screen name was Jackie, Miss Jackie, something. Forgive me if I forget the screen name, but he was talking about, he was leaving a comment talking about 10-finger cards. I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's why I say it took me a while to get to the level that I'm on, because I did not know half of the tricks and trades, especially when you talk about something like a cluster or tritones and ditones. See, nobody taught me that growing up. And if it wasn't for a brother on here, well, I think he's still on there, but he's done advanced so much. Y'all hear me talk about him all the time, my old videos. Mr. Jamal Hartwell, Sister Cassandra O'Neal, PJ Morgan, Sam Tolbert, oh man, AG Praise. I can name so many people on here that I learned and still learn from. Jason White. It's some dynamic, awesome musicians that's pouring their heart out with showing you stuff that they wouldn't show you in school. So I thank the Most High for people like that was just, you know, blessing others, man, you know, and we could advance off of each other, you know, that's a blessing. So that's why when I use this title, learning it in your mind, some people can relate to that, but then some can't. I've been doing it so long now. I started playing in church when I was about 15 years old. So I've been playing in church a long time, but I wasn't just playing in church either. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say I was playing weddings, all kind of different engagements. So especially when I was learning I grew up learning old school. Old school is very easy for me to learn. I can just sit up here, even if I've never played the song before, you can cut it on, and I can hear those changes. So by the time I sit down, it's like, man, you don't went over that song before. No, I haven't. That's because I have built up my vocabulary, my chord structure. I've learned what to do and when to do it, and I learned what not to do and not when to do it. I've learned that even at first, I didn't even know what the number system was. I was already catching it, but once I learned all 12 keys, it don't. I say this as I close. It don't matter what key you in. You can do the same thing in every key. I don't care if you're in C sharp or D flat, you know, according to how you looking at it, versus F major. You can still do the same thing. It's gonna sound different, but you can do the same. If you know what a 1 to 4 to 5 is in the key of C major, you're gonna know where it is when you go up a half step to D flat major. You just have to. I always use the term, I see the piano in my mind. That's why I can learn it in my mind, because without even looking at the piano musicians out there, without looking at it, I already know where to go in my mind. That's why I use the term transposing in your mind. Everybody not there yet, and I understand it. But once you learn that piano, you're gonna be able to already know where to go without even looking at the piano. If you're in the key of F major, and you listen at that song and you see that song went up a half step, it ain't gonna take you long to figure out where to go, because you already know where that half step is. F sharp. If you had to jump over a whole step, you already know you're gonna be in the key of what? G major. So it's just, the point is, once again, when you learn what you're doing versus just show me how to hit it. No, learn what you're doing. So as you continue to keep learning music and build up your vocabulary, then you're going to see how it all goes. And then once you get that vocabulary built up, you're going to see how so many chords go in so many other different songs. And it's going to get easier and easier for you to learn songs. For some people, it's harder right now because they may be at a beginning stage. Some may be at an intermediate stage. But then you got a lot of people that's at that advanced mode, so it don't take them, especially when you got a basic 1-4-5 song, it don't take you long at all to learn that song, because if it don't have no modulation in there, you know, no half stepping and whole stepping. It's just a loop. You're gonna be like, cut the CD off. Like, I already got it. So I want to once again say that learning the song in my mind before I even hit the piano. That's what I do. To answer your question, my brother, I learned it up here while I'm walking, while I'm exercising. I done listened to this song so many times. So when I sit down, that's why I was able, as I close, that's why I was so able to put, especially when I was laid off, I was so able to put so many tutorials on here at one time, because though a lot of those songs was nothing, it was just a repeat. You know, it wasn't nothing hard about it. That might be hard to somebody that's just starting out, but to the people that's on them levels, it's a piece of cake. So learn why you doing what you doing. When you do that, you understand it, man. I can't put all these crazy chords in this song. You can mess a song up by doing all that crazy stuff when all you need sometimes is that basic C, that basic F, that basic G major without all the fanciness. So y'all, with that being said, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day.